right, what is up? We are live. Do have a poll question up. Which one are you picking as a daily driver, as inspired from sort of a Twitter debate that I had the previous day? And you saw the picture there. The Adam West Batmobile kit from Knight Rider, the A-Team van, or Ecto 1, the Ghostbusters Cadillac Hearst. This is the first round. I do have at least two more rounds of this. So we're going to take the winner from this round, and we will add it in the very end. It might be just a three vote off right now, but I do have two more rounds of this. So get your votes in now. Right now, the Batmobile at 22%, Kit at 33%, A-Team van 44%, and Ecto 1, no votes, no love for Ecto 1 as it stands right now. I'm kind of surprised by that, but the A-Team van at 40%, not surprised by that. Just so much more room for activities. But there is more voting to be had on that. All right. I'm going to shoot through the comments real quick, and then I'm going to get to the preview for Martinsville. How's the weather going to be for Martinsville, says one wise guy. Looks like it's going to be about 80 degrees down there, so I think it's going to be a nice day. It's not. I don't think the weather is going to be a factor for once. For once at Martinsville, it's actually going to be a nice warm day, but it's Martinsville, so anything can happen. Cassandra, what's up? How y'all from North Idaho? What up? What's up on a beautiful Friday evening? Hi, one wise guy, Bumblebee, Mark, Jamie, BB, Roofer, Jenna, Robin, Say Kyle, and the gang. So she gave a shout out to everybody. That is awesome. Thank you, Cassandra. And what is up? Of course, North Idaho qualifying more important than the race for Cup this week, says Napa Race fan. Yeah, they haven't fixed the short track package, so I do agree with you. Qualifying is going to be significant. Mark Barnum saying, what's up to Cassandra? Will Cup practice qualifying be more entertaining than the race? There's a good chance. There is a good chance. So that's one that you probably want to tune in for qualifying. I will be there Sunday. I will not be there Saturday. Saturday is the Rodney Cook race, Rodney Cook Classic at Ace Speedway. So if you want to check that one out, definitely be out there. I'll be filming that one. Yes or no? Slight yes for me. I hope I'm wrong, though. And there's a great race. I doubt it, though, says Napa Racing fan. Real nostalgia in dual Smokey and the Bandit. Moving on. BJ and the Bear and Optimus Prime. So there you go, Optimus Prime. That's a good one, too. I don't know if you can really drive Optimus Prime. You're just kind of riding along there. But you have nailed on a couple of them that are going to be sort of in the next round. So we'll see how that plays out going forward. All right, folks, they don't show practice or qualifying in Canada, so hope the race is good. Yeah, I'm hoping the race. I mean, look, I'm hoping against hope, but I'm not expecting a whole lot because the short track package all this year has not been great. One wise guy saying what's up to everybody. Mark Barnum saying what's up. I want that red car, says Shah. There is another red car. I don't know what that red car is from. So actually, I meant to ask that too. If you know what like movie or TV show that other red car in there is from, that's before my time. Congrats on the car winning Groovy Hollow. Missed it live, says Napa Race fan. I appreciate it, man. That was a really awesome event. Just a super cool deal. And once again, thanks to everybody involved, especially you guys who showed out pretty strong in the chat and in the donations. So I really appreciate all of you for sure. A good thing the weather in Martinsville is not Iowa weather. Sunday, we're talking snow here, says Mark Barnum. That would be pretty terrible. Could Truex actually get a win Sunday? He's a previous winner here, so we're actually going to get into that in just a second. I think it's Hardcastle answer McCormick red car. Okay, so I've never heard of that, so I'm going to have to look that one up. That's I'm not familiar with that one, so I have to check that one out because I'm not 100% sure about that one. Haven't seen that show, but all right, let's get to your Martinsville preview. With an average finish of 4.7, Joey Logano has the best average finish at Martinsville since February of 2020, according to DriverAverages.com. Ryan Blaney is going to be your second at 5.7 with the average finish. Chase Elliott third at 7.7. Kyle Larson second or fourth at 8.2. Kurt Busch 9.6. Martin Truex Jr. 10.4. Matt DiBenedetto 11.0. Alex Bowman 11.7. William Byron 11.9. Clint Boyer 12.5. So that's three people not in the race. I'm going to go three more. Ross Chastain 13.2. Eric Almirola, who apparently Eric Almirola is going to retire or go to part-time. That's some news that's bubbling under the surface over there at Twitter. And it looks like Noah Gragson is going to be going in that 10 car. And I will get to that in just a second as well. But let me get through this. Kyle Busch at 13.9 and Dennis James Dennis Allen Hamlin, 14.1. Chase Briscoe, 14.4. Don't know if I went enough spots down, but there you go. Those are average finish. Those are your best ones there. Who's got the most wins would be Martin Truex Jr. He has won this race previously 2 times in the last 7 events. 1 time for Seabell, 1 time for Willie B, 1 hat for Willie B, 1 time for Chase Elliott, 1 time for Alex Bowman, and 1 time for Kyle Larson. So Hendrick is really good there. That's what you got from that. You got 4 wins from the Hendrick camp, and you've got 3 wins from the Joe Gibbs camp. So you would expect it to be a not a big shocker here, but a Joe Gibbs versus Hendrick deal. But don't count out the Ford camp with, of course, the Penske. The Penske rides are good here, dating all the way back to Rusty Wallace. So don't ever count out Penske at Martinsville. Laps led is going to be led by Chase Elliott at 765 laps led at Martinsville. That is by far and away the most. Denny Hamlin is second with 660, so 100 behind Chase Elliott there. Then the next closest one is going to be Joey Logano at 293, 290 for Martin Truex Jr., 232 for Ryan Blaney, 221 for William Byron, Kyle Larson, 175, 159 for Christopher Bell, 135 Ryan Preece, which is I'm surprised that Ryan Preece has led that many laps there. Well, I shouldn't be, though, because he won the modified race last night. So 134 for Chase Briscoe, and nobody else is in the 100s there. So let's go to how driver averages rates them, and they're rating Chase Elliott as the most as your best power driver here. So they're going to go Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, Kyle Larson, Joey Logano, Martin Truex Jr. are going to be your top 6, followed by William Byron, Alex Bowman, and Denny Hamlin. So there you go. Those are your power rankings, I guess, according to driver averages. Now, if you would like to sort of spend a little money on this, let's see. Did I exit out? No, here we go. So BetMGM has the odds. They have Denny Hamlin as their favorite at plus 325, then plus 725 for Kyle Larson and William Byron, plus 900 for Martin Truex Jr., plus 1,000 for Keselowski, Ryan Blaney, and then Tyler Reddick is plus 1,400. So they're just sort of playing off, I guess, who's in the playoffs and your playoff standings. Of course, that is important. Ryan Blaney, last man in at plus 10. I think William Byron is safe at plus 30, so I'm just going to exclude him. So the people racing here, barring like an engine blowing or getting in a wreck early, I think William Byron is in. But Ryan Blaney, plus 10 over Tyler Reddick, who was minus 10. Martin Truex Jr. and Denny Hamlin, both minus 17. And Chris Buescher, minus 43, so he's going to be in win or go home territory. All right, let's see what you guys want to talk about over here. Sammy Smith on the pole for tomorrow's Xfinity Series race. Yeah, the Xfinity Series race is probably going to be one you want to watch because those have been putting on good races at Martinsville with that package for the longest time. So I think that'll be a good one. I hope a non-playoff driver wins and shake it up, says Barry Earl. That would be cool. Maybe Harvick. Yeah, I mean, Harvick's got good numbers. Like I said, 14 point something, the average finish there. So he can get it. He's gotten it done here in the past. He does have a previous win there. I know that because I had tickets to that race and didn't go because I was tired of seeing Jimmy Johnson and Jeff Gordon win. And the one time I don't go, Kevin Harvick wins the race. So I was like, well, great. There you go. Let's see here. Joey or Logano, Rex, Denny Sunday, says one wise guy. We'll have to see. We'll have to see if Denny gets any type of payback. He has not made any friends this season, that's for sure. But it's not a sport of making friends. You got to go out there and win. So that's part of the deal. Elliott and Bowman have a shot because Hendrick is historically great at Martinsville. All 4 of their cars usually run well. Yeah, I mean, I think anybody sitting in the Hendrick car is really good. I remember when Chase Elliott absolutely dominated. He doesn't have the wins to show for it, but Chase Elliott, he had a green Mountain Dew car that was an absolute monster, and they had some type of mechanical trouble. But if they hadn't had mechanical trouble, he would have easily won that race. Even when he came out of the pits, he was still picking them up and putting them down. What's up, Edie and everyone? What's up, Joshua Jenkins? Good to see you on here, my friend. I had to think. Let's see. I had to think hard on that. Thank Google, says Shy. Howdy from the Great White North. What's up, Robin Marks? And what's up, Canada? Howdy, Cass from Idaho. I have to pick the 18 van. My dad had a 76 Chevy van, teardrop windows, custom. I traveled thousands of miles in the back of it. Yeah, people don't remember. I guess they're actually coming back into style, but people don't remember the old Mark III type custom vans from back in the day. But those were definitely, I remember them as a little kid. They were super popular. I love the paperclip, not the short track package or the car for this track, though, as a Napa racing fan. I'm right there with you. I think Martinsville's a great track. I think the Xfinity Series is going to put on a great race. I am worried about the Cup race. I think it might be a follow the leader, where you qualify type race, but hopefully I'm wrong. And hopefully I'll be there live, so I'll be able to look at the battles throughout the field. But hopefully NBC shows all the battles on the track and don't just show the guy in the lead for the whole time, kind of like Fox did earlier this year. Priest won the modified race, says Mark Barnum. Yep, that is for sure. He definitely won that. Coyote X apparently is the red ACR. Okay, so Coyote X is the red ACR. I'm not familiar with that one either. Are you meeting up with Danny B at Martinsville? I will see Danny B there. That is for sure. I am going to meet up with Danny B at Martinsville. Priest is excellent at modifieds. Not surprised. Modifieds put on a great show. Great shows more often than not, says Napa Race Fan. What's up, everyone? A-team all day. What you talking about, fool? Doing the old Mr. T there. Is Cole Custer going to be Justin Allgaier of the Xfinity Series now? I don't know. We'll have to see what goes on with Cole Custer. What's up, BB? What's up, Chrome Diesel? I don't see Custer coming back to Cup. He's a young guy, man. I'm not going to say he's not coming back to Cup. SHR still hasn't announced the driver of the 10. I like the idea of them selling the charter to RFK, but probably won't happen with Rick Ware Racing affiliation now. I mean, they've all but said it. It's going to be Noah Gragson. They just haven't officially announced it yet. You think Dodge? I mean, allegedly. I have to throw allegedly in there. You think Dodge may be returning to NASCAR, says Jamie Schweitzer? I think it's going to depend on whenever NASCAR changes the engine package. I feel like that's what all the OEMs are waiting on, is what the new engine package is going to look like. And that's why Dodge and Honda and whoever else is interested, I think that's why they're holding out. And they're just waiting to see what that next engine package looks like. Because why would they develop an engine for like 2 years and then you got to change it again? So they're not trying to waste development money on something like that. I finally got to watch the modified race thanks to Flow Racing. I'm sad they are not racing at Jennerstown next year, says Chrome Diesel. Yeah, that's going to be a loss for the modifieds for sure. Hopefully they get it figured out and they can bring Jennerstown back. You think Rick Ware Racing should have been able to keep the charter? It's complicated. First off, if you pay for a charter and buy a charter, you should never lose the charter. So that's why I like, if you're going to relegate teams, if you're not just going to lock them all in, if you're going to relegate teams or, have an ability to take away the charter, why not give people in the Xfinity Series opportunities to buy charters? So like everybody in the Xfinity Series could have a charter if they wanted to. You don't have to. So the last three in points, charter-wise, would drop back down to Xfinity. The first three in Xfinity would have the opportunity to move up the Cup if they bought a charter. I think that's the fairest way to do it. Basically a version of how they do EPL soccer, if you're familiar with that. I will be multiple green, white checkers, bump and run, says Perry Earl. That way you can have a charter, but you have to earn the right to keep it. So I think that's probably the fairest way to do it. It will be multiple green, white checkers and a bump and run, says Perry Earl. There's a chance, but even the bump and run is hard to work with this car because it's just got so much grip. The tires are so wide and they're shifting. I would rather race Xfinity over Cup. Seems like more fun and slightly more relaxed. Says Shy. Yeah, it's they've definitely put on the better shows, and it's definitely, at short tracks at least, the more fun car to drive. Sad move putting Gregson in the 10 car, says Mark Barnum. I mean, they got to put somebody in it because I feel like Eric Almirola I don't think he wanted to race this year. I think he wanted to retire last year. I think he did him a favor by coming back and letting Smithfield run with him. So you got to stick somebody in the car. Like, who you put in the car, that's anybody's guess. In the Ford camp, you've got Haley Deegan, Riley Herbst, Cole Custer. So those, I guess, from just a pure Ford perspective, would have been your other options. But of course, they could have poached talent. Like Chevrolet and Toyota have been poaching talent all year. So whoever you want to put in there. Michael Honeychuck, what's going on, my friend? What do you think about Jesse Love going to RCR's Xfinity Series team? I mean, I think if you're losing Sheldon Creed, he's probably going to be just as good as anybody to put in there and replace Sheldon Creed. So I don't think it's a bad move. He won the ARCA this year. He won the championship in ARCA by a landslide. So I feel like you got a pretty good. It's hard to judge talent in ARCA though because the equipment is so much different. But everybody seems to think he's a really good race car driver. I'm not super familiar with him, so I'm kind of in the blind. But if RCR believes in him, they usually have a pretty good eye for talent. I think he's going to work out over there. I wonder who is older, the King or the captain, says Jamie Schweitzer. I know, I don't know how old Roger is, but I know Richard Petty is 80 something, might be 81 this year. So I don't know. Herbst would be a better choice, says Mark Barnum. So you want to go with Herbst there? He would bring some sponsorship. I think Noah brings a little bit of sponsorship, but I don't think it's as much probably as Riley Herbst. Roofer, what's up, my friend? I saw you. You saw filming photos of the 2024 Mustang at Daytona. I did see the photos of that. They had a boom crane following it around. So you did get a little bit of a sneak peek of the next version of the Ford Mustang that will be racing in the Cup Series. Roofer says, ladies, hey, Roofer, HMS sucks, says, I like dislike. So we do have a poll question. I'm going to leave this up for a little bit longer because I do need to get to the next poll question. But right now, the Adam West Batmobile at 25%, 29% for Kit, 42% for the A-Team van, and 4% for Ecto 1. I'm actually just going to call it right now because I don't think anybody is going to come back and beat the A-Team van. So we're going to end this one, and I'm going to start the next poll here. So let me write that down so I don't forget. A-Team van won that one. So the next one, this is going to be an interesting one, I think. So let's see here. Oh, this is going to be a tough round. This is a tough one. That is not how you spell Ferrari. All right, let's see here. And what is the other one? All right, there we go. Finally got it all out. All right, so round two of which one would you pick for a daily driver? The Bandit Trans Am, the General Lee, the Ferrari from Magnum PI, or Michael Keaton's Batmobile. So there you go. Those are your options there. Right now, General Lee in the lead at 67%. Bandit Trans Am, 33%. Magnum Ferrari PI, and Michael Keaton Batmobile getting no love. So there you go. This is going to be an interesting one as it plays out. The King is 86. Richard Petty is 86. So there you go. I'm gonna look that up because I don't know how old he is, but he's Roger Penske. How old is he? So February 20th, 1937 for Roger Penske. Let's go to Richard Petty. Richard Petty, July 2nd, 1937. So just by a few months, they're the same age, but just by a few months. Let's see. Yeah, Roger Penske by a few months. He's February, and Richard Petty is July. So 6, 5, 4. So like 4 months there. 4 months. Roger Penske's got him beat. So Roger Penske is the older in that particular deal. I predict Bell will be the 2023 champion. Yeah, Christopher Bell's got good numbers for sure. He's up there. Look, here's the deal. If Ryan Blaney can make Phoenix, he's actually got the better numbers at Phoenix, especially if you're going off of last year. So I think the Phoenix race itself is just going to be super interesting. I got to get that right. I should go pop in with hiya fellas and ladies, says Roofer. Does Blaney make a first championship 4 appearance? Hamlin might be a tough out with a possibility of winning. Rooting for Blaney over Hamlin, especially after last week at Homestead, Miami, says Napa Racing fan. Well, you saw last year, Hamlin was super conservative. He didn't think Ross Chastain was going to get up there and make up all those spots to beat him. So this year, does Denny Hamlin drive this race any differently, knowing he has to be the aggressor? That's going to be the interesting thing to me. Qualifying is going to be huge, huge, huge. So we're going to have to see what happens in qualifying. But I think that's definitely going to be a good question as to how Denny Hamlin drives, because I feel like he drove conservatively last year. Does he flip the switch to be hyper aggressive? And if he is hyper aggressive, is he too aggressive? Does he wreck himself, or does he anger somebody and somebody else wrecks him? I think there's all kinds of question marks. I think this race has a chance to be super dramatic, as all these are. Can it be that year one Bandit car? That thing is awesome, says Roofer. Yeah, any Smokey and the Bandit car you want to pick. YouTube don't like cursing either. T-Van says one wise guy. That's a fact. Does Jack still go to the races, or is it just Brad there now to represent that team? I don't know. I haven't seen them post any pictures of the Cat in the Hat, so I don't know what he's up to these days. I don't know if he still makes it out to all the races. I want the General Lee. Then I can drive around and make snowflakes melt down. Says shot. Yeah, the only problem with the General Lee, same problem with the first generation Batmobile. If it rains, that's going to be a really long day because they don't have windows. The Batmobile doesn't even have a roof over your head. But the windows, there's no windows on the side of the General Lee, so that's going to be a long day if it rains. That would be a deciding factor for me personally if I was going to have it as a daily driver. But yeah, so I don't know. The Michael Keaton Batmobile, that's going to be a terror to back up and parallel park. So that one's going to be difficult there. Although it might have a rear view camera in it, but it does have the security system that when you hit the button, it puts the big shell over top of it. So at least you know it won't get broken into. So it does have that going for it. Let's see. Does Penske ever go to tracks anymore? Says T-Van. Oh, that's a good question. I think he's been at just about every race. If he's not, he's at a IndyCar race. So I think he does still travel. I've seen him quite often when I've been to the racetrack. So I think he's still getting out there going to the racetrack. I know Richard Petty still goes to a bunch of them for sure. Hamlin blew his wad in the first round, says one wise guy. Maybe. He seems a lot tighter now than he seemed all season. So it's leading to those. Here we go right here. Michael Honeychuck. Denny will choke. It's the norm. So it's leading to the people who say that Denny Hamlin is going to choke. It's feeding into that. He does seem a lot tighter than normal. I like your hat, BB. That is nice. Says Joshua Jenkins. Yeah, I got the old Richard Petty King hat here from New Era. That was you can pick that up at the NASCAR Legends trailer at Martinsville, or you can pick it up at NASCAR.com. I want the last race car. Says Duke Chronic. General Lee is the ultimate stock car. Says Rook. Hacklin will speed on pit road. Oh, that's another good point. If he's aggressive on pit road and he gets a speeding penalty, that's really, really going to hurt him here at somewhere like Martinsville. So that could definitely factor in there. Can I get the family truckster from? Okay, I'll put that down. Family truckster. All right, that is in the running. I hadn't even thought about that one. Let's see if you've got one that's not. I've got a few more coming up. So the next round is going to be the Mystery Machine, the Party Wagon from the Ninja Turtles, the Dark Knight Batmobile, and the Fall Guy truck. So that's going to be the next round. But if you can think of something other than that, Munsters Dragula. So there you go. That's a good one. Hadn't thought about that one. Yeah, but if you can think of something other than that, we'll get 4 rounds in real quick. Let's see. Good point, BB. The General would not be a winter driver here in Canada. Rain, meh. I'm not made of sugar. I won't melt. LOL, said Shot. But it would be warm. Because if you've ever sat in a stock car, you'll be plenty of warm in the wintertime. So as long as you're not worried about getting wet, it'll be fine. Just throw a tarp over it when you got to go in and shop or whatever, so the snow doesn't get inside. Let's see. What team underachieved this year, in your opinion? Legacy Motor Club, without a doubt. Legacy Motor Club. They had such a good year last year, and this year, because they're not factory based, backed basically this year, because Chevrolet obviously knew they were going to Toyota. When Chevrolet basically pulled the factory backing, Legacy Motor Club, they had such a good run last year. This year, they've been a total disappointment. They picked it up here at the end of the season. That being said, the first 3 quarters of the season, they were totally just not what they were last year. Huge disappointment. I had Eric Jones in the playoffs, and I'm going to put Eric Jones in the playoffs next year too, because he's an elite talent. But it was shocking to me that they were as bad as they were this year. Denny has been with the lone bright spots of Carson Hocevar and the last quarter for Eric Jones. There, they finally have picked it up though. Denny has been at the front of most of the chase. If he qualifies good, yeah, Denny's run good. He had one bad race last week, but you can't if you look at Denny Hamlin's numbers, he's really good. Like everybody left is good. That's the thing. Everybody left is good. So it's just a coin flip for who's going to do what. Monsters Dragula. Yeah, I wrote that one down as well. That's a good one. Appreciate you there, Shaw. I'm rooting for Denny. I'm not a Denny fan, but I've turned the corner on him. He's definitely the best driver in the sport without a championship. I mean, that's probably a pretty fair statement. Team Penske underachieved. I would say the opposite for Team Penske as far as what I just talked about with Legacy. Legacy started out slow. Penske started out on fire. They started out a house on fire, and then they just kind of haven't done anything since. So the second half of the year, aside from Ryan Blaney, they have not been the Penske we're used to watching. So that's a good point there for sure. Second half of the season, Beverly Hillbillies car. Herbie I do need to put Herbie in there. That's a good one. Let's see here. Aston Martin, Goldfinger, James Bond. I'll just put James Bond cars because they're all Aston Martins for the most part, except for that one BMW. Let's see here. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Let's see. I'm glad Rick Ware Racing hasn't lost their charter. Yeah, like I said, I'm glad they didn't lose it either. I think NASCAR can come up with a better system than what they got, though, to relegate teams and then bring teams up and just have it sort of like the EPL does. I miss seeing the owners go to tracks. I miss the sport covering things that aren't just going on the racetrack. Back in the day, you used to cover so much more. Now it's just focused on the playoffs and who's leading the race. That's pretty much all they cover during the race now. They used to have little snippets of how aerodynamics work, and you used to have the Ford cutaway car and the Toyota cutaway car after that. You don't really see all that much in-depth analysis of other things going on around the sport as much as you used to. At least that's what it seems like in my mind. The DeLoreans, let's put the DeLorean in there. Good point. I can't believe I knew there would be one that I totally whiffed on, and that's it. Appreciate you there, Roofer. I want the dog truck from Dumb and Dumber. Okay, there we go. I'm going to call it right there because I've got enough for another round or a couple rounds. So I'm going to have to call it there for that one. Let's see here. I'd like to take the Blues Brothers Monaco. Oh, that's a good one too. Dang on it. I'm taking out. I'm going to have to take one out because I got to put the Blues Brothers car in there just because of the speech he gives right before he takes off. It's 300 miles to Chicago. We got half a tank of gas, a full pack of cigarettes or whatever. Hit it. Like that's an iconic line. Denny's is the next Mark Martin, says T-Van. Yeah, as far as champions go, put him up there, of course, with Junior Johnson as guys that are amazing drivers but don't have a championship. In Denny's case, don't have a championship yet. He's still out there fighting for one. Blaney with support can do as good as Logano, says Duke Chronic. Yeah, I mean, Blaney's definitely up there. Christine says Duke Chronic. I don't know if I'd want to drive Christine. So I don't know. So I don't know. We'll have to figure out a way to do it, Christine. Sad, I just went with Ferrari for the money, says Dirty Def. Duke Chronic, I agree. I had to vote for the Bandit. I had a 76 with a 400, but didn't like the one in the movie because it's got the square headlights. Let's see. I completely agree, BB. The car from Wraith, one of the best. I'll put the Wraith car in there. That's that would make Craig Moore, who I work for, very proud that the Wraith car is in this one. Hopefully YouTube can understand how I enunciate things there because I don't want them to think I said another word there. Let's see here. Yeah, we're gonna have like 2 lightning rounds for these ones for sure. The W Van says Shaw. Kit from Knight Rider. Yeah, we actually had Kit in the first round. Kit lost out to the 18 van. Let's see here. Cheech and Chong. So we'll put the Cheech and Chong one in there. Let's see. Bandit, no horsepower. I'm pretty sure since he was the Bandit, I'm pretty sure they took all the smog control stuff off of that car for that movie. or the character in that movie is the type of person that would have taken the smog control stuff off. Eleanor, so there we go, Eleanor, and now I'm calling it because now I do have officially enough rounds. We do eventually have to get to a champion. Let's see here. I'm taking the Mercury, I believe, in Stallone movie Cobra. Yeah, you can also throw in the Starsky and Hutch Mercury or whatever. I'm acting like Cheech and Chong right now. It says I like this. Oh man, I missed the ad. Milner's. Sorry I didn't skip that ad. I didn't see it. I was down here writing something down. Milner's coupe or Corvette. Summervet, says Alan Rich. Did you see the Year One Bandit? Robin Moore. Yeah, somebody was talking about the Year One Bandit in here earlier. How about the car from Speed Racer? Speed Racer is a good one. Ferris Bueller Ferrari, Bueller, Milner's yellow Ford from American Graffiti. How about the Trans Am from the movie Hooper? I don't think I've seen Hooper. So I'm going to go ahead and call this one right now. Right now it's 30% Trans Am from Smokey and the Bandit, 57% the General Lee, 13% for Magnum PI, and Michael Keaton's Batmobile gets no love. But that is the end of that one. Looks like the General Lee is going to win that round, so we are going to write that one down. And we'll go to this next round. Where we've got the Mystery Machine. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Party Wagon. We've got the, you know what? I'm going to leave the Dark Knight Batmobile. I'm going to put it in. I've had all the other Batmobiles in here. I feel like this one is like more iconic recently. And the Fall Guy truck. So Fall Guy truck. There we go. That poll question is up. Pick one for your daily driver. Mystery Machine, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Party Wagon, the Dark Knight Batmobile, or what was the other one? The Fall Guy truck, the truck from Fall Guy. Colt Seavers. Let's see here. Anything from Dazed and Confused and American Graffiti. So, yeah, there you go. American Graffiti, Dazed and Confused. Too many cars there. Same thing with Fast and the Furious. Fast and the Furious. I'm surprised nobody has said those yet, but the Dodge Charger from Fast and the Furious and the Toyota Supra that Brian Earl Spillner drove. Of course, later on, they found out he's Brian O'Connor from Arizona. Yeah, the Chevelle, says Ken Hatchett. We got a Hugo. We forgot a Hugo. Says Shah. I agree, Shah. Check out Twin Sticks Garage on YouTube. He has done the Smokey and the Bandit truck and is going to do the Firebird. So, yeah, the Smokey and the Bandit truck, I thought about putting that one in there, but I didn't want to put two Smokey and the Bandit options in there. I've just now realized I've known more famous cars than I do actors. It says like this, like the Batwing, and I'm in. So, yeah, I could put the Turtle Wing and the Batwing in there, but I'm trying to keep it with wheels. We might do one in the off season because the off season is going to be, wacky because I feel like silly season is pretty much not going to be as big this year as it was last year because they made silly season throughout the season this year. So I agree. Dazed and Confused. Who was the fluffier cup driver, Jimmy Spencer or Tony Stewart? Jimmy Spencer by far on that one. Jamie Schweitzer. Who was the bad guy from American Graffiti? I couldn't tell you. I've seen clips of the movie, but I've never seen the full movie. Mystery Machine can't be beat. So Mystery Machine is winning right now, 43%. Han Solo says Shah. So yeah, if we're going with aerial vehicles, you got to put the Millennium Falcon in there for sure. 70 SS Chevelle from Dazed and Confused, Starsky and Hutch car. I think that was a Mercury something. Opening scene from Fast and the Furious. Rave between Dom and Brian. Thought it was the coolest part of the series. Yeah, so don't forget, I forgot about that one too. The green Mitsubishi from Fast and the Furious. Like the Fast and the Furious and American Graffiti, that would be just we would have to do separate columns for each of those. Maybe they could go head to head against each other. American Graffiti versus the Fast and the Furious series. Nobody likes Fast and the Furious anything anymore. I think they finally come to an end with it. The final movie might be 3 parts, but they have finally reached an ending of the Fast and the Furious. We're talking, of course, good Fast and the Furious back in the day. Movie number 1. Roofer, that was Falfa, says Rook. Roofer was Milner. Hell, just go Rick Claremont. Corey LaJoy drove the crap out of it. GTO for me from Dazed and Confused. Harrison Ford drove 55. Says Rich Allen. The Starsky and Hutch car says I like this. Like Han Solo actor was the bad guy in American Graffiti. Yeah, I've never seen it, so I'm totally I'm in the blind about that one. Gran Torino. So there you go. Michael Honeychuck, Clint Eastwood's Gran Torino. I'm blanking on his name. Says Shaw. Hollywood Nights had a bad butt cars. They went to space. Noah Milner was the good guy. Yep, the original was cool, says Dirty Death. Yeah, the very first Fast and the Furious was actually a legitimately good movie before they got superhero abilities and could like jump into space and do all kinds of whatever. So OG Fast and the Furious was a really good movie. S&H car was a Ford Torino. Speaking of Torinos, Gran Torino. So there you go. Oh man, my name is Earl. I'm not going to put another car on the list though. I've had to draw the line, but I'm sad that I left it off. Let's see here. Earl, Randy, you can't beat the bandit. You can't be the bandit. I have the stash. End of the episode. You know what, Randy? You be the bandit. Really? Episode where they put golf balls in a hole for hole, hole-in-ones for free. Cheers, says Napa Race fan. So yeah, I forgot the Subaru Brat from My Name is Earl. That should definitely be up on here. Yeah, bad guy was Harrison Ford. Now I have to go to Blockbuster. It says Roofer. Mustang from Bullet. Yeah, I've got the Mustang from Bullet written down. So that one's Eleanor's in here, Alan Rich. I heard Danica was running her mouth again. Kenny Wallace was talking about it. Yeah, she actually brought up a valid point, but it's Danica Patrick, so a lot of people were sort of irritated about it. But she is right. She went about it in the most Danica way of saying it, and I'm not gonna give her any more press than that. But the point she's making is a point that I've made on here before as well. You don't know anything about these Cup Series drivers anymore. Joey Logano won the championship. You haven't heard anything all year about Joey Logano being the champion. Last year, you didn't hear anything about Kyle Larson being the champion. They don't promote it and pump it up like they used to. And that is 100% accurate thing. It's something I've talked about on here. Maybe I should just make a full-out episode about it now that light has been brought to the subject, regardless of the messenger, who is a trash can. So, like, yeah, I might have to make an episode on that. But yeah, the point is Vanishing Point Charger. So yeah, Vanishing Point Challenger. I mean, was another good one. The Pie Wagon from Hollywood Nights, says Alan Rich. There's a lot of movies apparently I haven't seen. She had a good point. I do agree with the point. I just don't like the messenger. Earl's El Camino. Oh yeah, the El Camino from Earl too. So I might have to do. I don't know. We've got too many rounds. I don't know. We're going to be on here for 6 hours if we get all these rounds in. Like the 68 Charger from Bullet more than the Mustang. Oh yeah, so the Bullet Mustang, that's got to be in there too. So like I said, we could go on forever. So I'm just going to go with the list that I've got. I can't add any more because we'll be here all night. Effing muscle, we get older. They stay the same. The famous Matthew McConaughey line. I'm not going to say it because I'm not sure how YouTube would feel about it. They might not get that it's a joke. The Love Bug, says Willow Spicewood. I'm probably the only person in the world that prefers Smokey and the Bandit 3 over the others. Had it recorded on VHS. I just happened to see it a lot. The Impala from Drive. Sad part is I have to agree with her. Says I like. Yeah, I agree with her too. I just hate the trash can delivery unit that spouted it out. American Graffiti was a great movie. They never show in reruns. Yeah, they used to show it a long time ago. I remember as a little kid, it was always on the Saturday matinee or whatever, the movie of the week or whatever, and they would have like 4,000 commercials in it. But they did used to show it back in the day, or it would be the info commercial movie, like Jason Bell selling windows here. Come buy our windows. Like every 5 minutes, there would be a buy our windows telethon. Remember they had the telephone? They had the row of telephones with the people sitting in front of them, and you had to call in. If you call in now, you'll get this good deal. Like I remember American Graffiti playing in those a bunch of times, at least where I lived in my regional area. Judge Hardcastle GMC pickup for Hardcastle and McCormick. I've never seen that one. The name reminds me of like Scarecrow and Miss King, but I can't remember. I just don't remember Hardcastle and McCormick. I'm gonna have to look that one up. Hollywood Nights is better than American Graffiti. Haven't like I said, I know what American Graffiti is, but I've never seen it. American Graffiti is Forgotten Gem. Watch it, BB. All right, all right, all right. Says I like this. Like TBS would air it from time to time. Yeah, TBS back in the day did air it from time to time too. I do remember that. If you were a night owl, they showed that one quite a bit, along with a few other ones. Is there any silly season left for the off season? I mean, that's a good question. I'm trying to think of like a car we don't know who's going where. Like maybe the 51 for Rick Ware Racing. The 10 is allegedly going to be Noah Gregson. I think that's going to get announced this week. So yeah, I don't know if there's any silly season. Like definitely in the trucks and Xfinity there is, but like I think Cup has pretty much put a bow on it. It's close to being done, except for maybe the Rick Ware Racing car. And the Colleague car, the number 16, what they're going to do with the number 16 car at Colleague. So those are the only two that are sticking out that are left in my mind. American Graffiti was George Lucas's big film before Star Wars and Indy. So yeah, that's for sure. Let's see. Looks like the Mystery Machine is going to win this one. Oh, the Fall Guy truck, 36%. It's close. 25 votes only right now. So I'm going to leave this up for one more minute because there is enough time for that to flip. But Party Wagon at 4%. Oh, I'm so bummed out about that. The Party Wagon was life as a little kid, man. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles not getting enough love here, but that's all good. Dark Knight, Batmobile. That's the so far of all the Batmobiles, the Dark Knight has gotten the most votes. So that is the leading Batmobile. 35% for the Fall Guy truck. 48% for the Mystery Machine. It is oscillating. Mystery Machine's gaining, so I'm going to go ahead and close it out. Looks like that's going to be the end for that one. So Mystery Machine goes to the next round. Let me write that in so I don't forget it. All right. Let's do one more round here. Well, there's actually going to be at least two more rounds because you guys gave me a ton of cars. Let's see. Family Truckster. Clark Griswold. I don't know if I spelled that right at all. As always, I'm a terrible speller. Munsters. Scar. I don't know how to spell Dragula, so I'm not even going to attempt. Let's see. And now I can't even read my own handwriting. So Herbie is another one here. God, I can't read my own handwriting. So I'm just going to put Eleanor in here too. So Eleanor. It looks like I wrote down the Ben-Hur car, but I know that's not what I wrote. Whatever. We'll move on. Let's see here. Laughing my butt off. Just saying the movie quotes. It's been a minute since I've seen it. I can only remember a few lines. Yeah, for sure. Gone in 60. I mean, God, I can't even think of the name of it now. Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Is what I want to say, but I know that's not the name of it. FYI, Carson live streaming, and he talked about how good the Baconator was. Says Duke Chronic. That was pretty good too, which I thought was late. Says Dirty Death. Oh, I missed something up here. We'll see here. Munster's Dragula. Hey, it's almost Halloween. They also had the Munster Coach Family Wagon. You don't remember Hardcastle and McCormick? The pick you have up, first car on the right is from the show Coyote. From the show The Coyote. Yeah, that's actually what got the conversation going. I was like, I don't know what that car is from. So that's actually where all that came from. So that's why I don't know Hardcastle and McCormick. Did Eric Almirola officially retire? It's a bunch of people leaking it out right now that Noah Gregson's going to that car, and the consensus is that Eric Almirola is going to drive part-time, most likely in the Xfinity Series. So that's the big rumor going around right now. It's I have to say it's a rumor, but it's basically probably going to get announced next week. Charger from Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry. Now I'm old remembering some of these movies, says Alan Rich. Yes, you guys are smoking me in the movie category. Chris Rice said today they would announce plans in December. So there you go. December is going to be the colleague announcement. So we'll have to wait until December. So we will have a little bit of silly season news in the offseason. Probably smart of him because he is at least going to dominate that news cycle if they play it right. So for once, that car will dominate the news cycle. So that's actually because everybody else has already showed who's going to go in their car. How many replays of the Hail Mel? Oh, God, Napa Race fan, at least 20. Oh, we're in the same boat there. At least 20. We're both here going at least 20. Let's take a look at the poll and see where that's at real quick. Eleanor from Gone in 50 seconds, Gone in 60 Seconds is in 37%. Herbie at 21%, 26% for the Munsters car. The Family Truckster at 16%. This has been the closest one so far. So 20 votes in the first 2 minutes, 40% for Eleanor Gone in 60 Seconds as it stands right now. Late to the party was watching the new South Park special. Oh, my God. Now I see why Disney is so mad. Laughing my butt off, says I say, Kyle. Yeah, Cartman is Kathleen Kennedy into the Pandaverse. So definitely, if you haven't seen the new South Park, check it out if you're into South Park. If you get offended by South Park, then please don't watch that. I would like the Mystery Machine if I could repaint it. Yes, I think the Mystery Machine is the way it looks like it's based on an old Ford Econo van, if I'm not mistaken. But I could be wrong. And, of course, the Ninja Turtles, the iconic the Love Bus from VW. It's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so it has to be a 1969 Volkswagen Love Bus. Like a teenager would only pick a 1969 car, I feel like. No BB Wayside Furniture commercials. You have to remember them, a.k.a. Local Eastern North Carolina nonstop commercial all the dang on time, says Michael Honeychuck. I do remember the furniture commercials for sure. Not a hippie, says Shah. I missed your answer. How many points is Chase out of the Owners Championship? Oh, that is a good question. Let's pop over here and look at that real quick. Oh, they're not showing me the what? What conspiracy is this, NASCAR? Here we go. Here's the owner standings. They make it hard to even navigate to it, too, in my opinion, because I couldn't find it in 2 seconds. Let's see here. I definitely clicked owner's points, and it showed me driver's points anyway. Oh, not looking. Chase Elliott's going to need to win this race to continue on in the owner's deal. Because right now he is at minus 97, the 17 is at minus 63, the 6 is at minus 37, and the 5 is at minus 30. So, yeah, Chase Elliott in a win or he's knocked out situation for the owner's points in the number 9 car for points. So right now he is eighth in overall points for the owner's deal. So it looks like he's in a win or a go home situation too. And that's something that I wish they would talk about, because if Chase Elliott gets aggressive because he's racing for the Owners Championship, which is what pays out the money, then you could see Chase Elliott kind of driving, a little rougher than he would normally drive to get that win. Who can forget that 70s show Vista Cruiser, the Vista Cruiser for sure. Do people steal catalytic converters and mailbox key from where you're from, or is that just a California thing? No, that's been a North Carolina thing for a long time. They also steal copper out of new construction or anything sticking out of the house. I knew some people that bought plasma cutters just to steal catalytic converters. We put an end to it down here because now you've got to show the title for the car. You have to show that you own the title for the car or something like that when you turn in the catalytic converter, and you got to go through all this paperwork. So it's not as easy as it used to be. Not saying it doesn't still happen. I'm just saying. Station Wagons from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, says Dirty Death. That was a good movie. Hell, I'm going Truckster on this one. Herbie second, says T-Van. The Mach 5. Yeah, I need to put the Mach 5 in there. Did I put the Mach 5 in there? See, I got the Mach 5 in there now. Burt Reynolds and Hal Needham were in Hooper, says Alan Rich. They were in a bunch of movies together. They were basically their own production team for a while. Ever seen the original Gone in 60 Seconds? I have. The backstory of the guy that made that movie is just crazy. Yeah, his wife was super crazy after that too, but she finally got defeated in court. So at least you can build Eleanor's now without worrying about her crazy tail trying to sue you. Marty's Toyota truck from Back to the Future. Oh, the old Tacoma, that was pretty iconic. Are all the Xfinity Series sets taken? I don't know. I have no idea. NASCAR banned the only way to pass at Martinsville with the new car, says Shy. Second, Marty McFly's Toyota. I mean, there is an iconic Toyota. It just happens to be in the Fast and the Furious. Brian O'Connor. If I think about it long enough, I'll think about another one. Like the most iconic Toyota from that era, though, would be Iron Man Ivan Stewart's Toyota truck that he did off road in. I remember that truck being in more commercials than anything I could think of back then. That's exactly what Chris Rice said. Dominate that news cycle. Says hey, there you go, Chris Rice. He's a smart guy. He's thinking long run there. I like the way he thinks. Appreciate you there, Dirty Death, hooking it up. Wait, BB, you have never seen American Graffiti? Not the whole thing. The whole thing. I highly recommend it, says Roofer. I mean, that's the problem. I come in to the movie like halfway through, and then there's like 15 to 20 commercials, and I'm like, you know what? I'm done with this. Click. Go on to the next episode. That's back when you could click through channels because there was cable. Love to have Eleanor clone with a Coyote engine in it. I think a lot of people would, for sure. Herbie the Love Bug is a good on gas. Get you to work every day. That's for sure. I think I'm the only one here that can say they were a hippie due to age, says Mark Barnum. No Christine in the vote. I mean, would you really want to drive a cursed car though? Like that's a highly questionable. I don't know. I don't know how many of these vote. Like we got too many cars as it stands, so I'll put Christine in there. I don't even know how we're gonna have a final vote now. So let's see. And there's one car I got bad handwriting. I don't even know what I wrote down. Let's see here. I'll put the Ferris Bueller car in there too because that's a bunch of votes for Ferris Bueller's Ferrari. The Ferris Ferrari. The two cars I would pick to win have already been knocked out. The Magnum PI Ferrari and the Smokey and the Bandit Trans Am. I can't believe those cars got knocked out because those would have been my two picks for a daily driver. Bandit over the Ferrari because the Ferrari, I think it was like a 238 or something. I think that car was notorious for being very finicky. So I'm sorry, but Chase Elliott has been on a milk carton as of late. It's like he's gotten worse. Yeah, he started off the playoffs pretty good, but then he's sort of he's went the way of Chris Buescher. Just apparently not as bad as Chris Buescher. Chase Elliott hasn't been much this year. He has when he's finished, but he's had a lot of DNFs and obviously the races that he just didn't race. Escobar is coming next week. It's coming up next in the polls, says Shy. LOL, Duke, LOL, nice. Hard to believe a cartoon with two stoners, Shaggy and Scooby, were always hungry. Yeah, and just the fact that Casey Kasem was the voice of Shaggy, like a lot of people didn't know that. I always thought that was pretty cool. Who wins the paperclip for the grandfather clock? Byron is my pick. I actually like your pick there. I like the William Byron pick. A lot of people are saying Denny Hamlin. I think if you don't pick William Byron, which is going to be my pick, I think if you don't pick Byron, I think Ryan Blaney is going to win that race. That's I just got a feeling. Like he's got good stats there, so you can back it up with numbers too. I'm feeling Ryan Blaney wins that race. I've probably just cursed the man to finish dead last, but I think Ryan Blaney's going to win that race. I hope I don't curse him there. Cole Trickles, City Chevrolet says Dirty Death. Yeah, I'm going daily drivers, but definitely we can have a vote off. We're going to have some cool ones in the off season. We're definitely going to do the best paint scheme from Days of Thunder in the off season, no doubt. Yeah, had to change my cat in the Maxima, and it was better off throwing in the trash. Scrap was like being interrogated. Says Michael Honeycutt. Yeah, it's crazy to turn in a catalytic converter in North Carolina now. But like I said, I knew people that literally bought plasma cutters just to steal catalytic converters, and like I was like, you guys, you're just gonna get in trouble. And they did. So 1998, and this was like back in like 2004, 2006. So it went on for a long time. They did get in trouble, by the way. The 1998 Geo Metro from the movie Big Trouble in Little Tokyo, maybe. I mean, 98 Metro, Geo Metro. I'm just going to throw that in there because that car will never die. So there's not going to be a better Geo Metro. Let me stop talking right now. From Big Trouble. All right, I'm officially not taking any more. That's it. No more cars. No more cars in here. Bring in Cody's Monster Max. I know it's not a movie vehicle, but it's iconic in the online community. Does Chase Elliott go on a 4-year winless streak like Dale Jr. did? Because we still got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 4 more rounds of voting, which I better close this poll out now. Let's see here. In poll, looks like Eleanor won that one. Let's see. All right, here we go. James Bond. I'm just going to put James Bond cars. They're all Austins, and you're not buying them for the car. You're buying them for the little doohickeys and gadgets that Q put on there. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. I know you get that song stuck in your head. DeLorean from Back to the Future, which is BTF. Let's see here. And the Dumb and Dumber Shaggin' Wagon. Although we could put the Dumb and Dumber mini hog in there. Like the mini hog from Dumb and Dumber, I feel like that's iconic too. James Bond cars at 100%. First vote in is for the James Bond cars. It looks like, so we'll let that one play out for a little bit longer, and then we will get to the next 2 rounds. It looks like there's 2 more rounds. Then we will get to the championship rounds, where we might just have to add some stuff. The Ferrari Daytona from Miami Vice, dude. Any car from Miami Vice. Like those were legits. Like Miami Vice was the show back in the day. Like if MTV made TV, it would be Miami Vice. The Toyota from Tango and Cash. There you go. I knew somebody would come up with a good Toyota from Tango. There you go. Tango and Cash Toyota. The third, they had a Toyota Camry in the third Hangover movie. That's the one that Chan. Is it Chan? The crazy Chinese guy drives through the. I don't know. They go in this crazy car chase. It's the European version of the Toyota Camry. Herbie was essentially a possessed car, but possessed in a positive way. Like you don't want the Christine level of possession. As long as Christine likes you, it seems okay. Says Dirty Death. So maybe I need to go rewatch that movie. I watched that movie when it first came out, so I don't remember it like lick for lick. So maybe I need to go watch that one. Speaking of licks, if you want to lick that like button, that would be much appreciated, but don't feel pressure to. Joey Logano beat Kyle Busch by 1 day as the youngest winner in either Cup or Xfinity series. I cannot remember, says Jamie Smart. So yeah, there you go. Two young guns, and the only reason he beat him is because NASCAR put in a rule saying he couldn't drive. He couldn't drive when he was 17. He probably could have been in the Cup Series at 17 if he really wanted to. So NASCAR put that rule in. Let's see. Truex in the 2023 playoffs so far, average finish of 20.75. So yeah. Old Martin Truex not having the best run, but that being said, he does have 2 previous wins here at Martinsville, so you can't count the guy out. Chase might be testing stuff for next year, says Duke Chronic. That's a fair point. Hold on, let's get this ad. I missed one earlier, so I apologize for that. That is why I have Dish. I can record the movies on the hopper and fast forward through the commercials for sure. That hopper and all that stuff, that's what TiVo and all that good stuff, that was some of the best stuff ever invented. Then streaming came along. Streaming's pretty good too. Before now everybody's got it. Back when it was just a few streaming services, it was good, I should say. Last thing I need is a ghost car pissed off at me, says Shaw. I live with a cursed woman. A car would be a piece of cake, says Alan Rich. So there you go. And there you go. Not going to touch that one. Byron can point his way into the final. They need one guy to point his way in, says Duke Chronic. I mean, yeah, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. So yeah, if William Byron, I think, is going to point his way in regardless, unless something catastrophic happens. So if Ryan Blaney wins the race, obviously William Byron would point in. Find the Casey Kasem clip where he freaks out about a dedication. Hilarious. I'll have to look that one up. I've never seen Casey Kasem freak out. Larson or on Sunday pulled a Too Fast, Too Furious, says Chrome Diesel. Yeah, that was unfortunate. That was unfortunate. You know what? I did like Too Fast, Too Furious. It wasn't the greatest movie ever made, but the cars, just the overall amount of cars that are really cool in that movie, I got to give him credit there. Larson, 2023 champion, says Alan Rich. So he's picking Larson for the championship. I'm going to wait till see the actual Final Four before I make my championship pick. When I was a kid, NASCAR teams used to have show cars everywhere. Do they still do that? My first memory of NASCAR was Neil Bonnett's Sitco car at the gas station. I want to say the Hardee's car of Cale Yarborough was probably one of the first cars I ever saw up close in person. Either that or no, it wasn't Tommy Houston's number 6 Roses car, but I probably saw the Roses car the most as far as show. I went to car shows in Charlotte and Raleigh, so I saw a bunch of them there, like Ricky Rudd's Buick, Quaker State Buick, the King's car. I saw that one a bunch anyway, just because I was a Richard Petty fan. Anything Dale Earnhardt, because my grandpa and dad were Dale Earnhardt fans before they converted me with the trip to RCR. And then Western Auto was really good about it. Roses, because they sponsored Tommy Houston, they were really good about it. Cale Yarborough Hardee's, they were really good about it. So I'm trying to think of another one here, but those were typically, even Ward Burton, when he drove the Hardee's car, they were good about it around here, because Ward Burton and them live close enough. But yeah, those were the ones I saw the most back in the day, for sure. And actually, Dale Earnhardt, RCR was really good about making having their show car travel around quite a bit. Chase Elliott deserves that McDonald's sponsorship for at least once. Oh man, if McDonald's, if it was even just one race, if McDonald's went one race with Chase Elliott just to do a throwback to his dad, that would be so rad. Go Metro, says Keith Risk. The Metro is coming up. It's going to be in the next. It's going to be in the next slot of cars here. A friend of mine from elementary school is doing 9 years for violating his probie by stealing a cat. Not the brightest crayon in the box, says Say Kyle. Yeah, it's amazing the older you get. Sometimes you look back at who you were hanging out with, and you're like, what was I thinking? And what were they thinking? Even more so, what were they thinking? But what was I thinking? Hanging out with them, but I came out on the other side. Some of them didn't, very unfortunately, just to keep it real. But thank God I came out on the other side. And what was I thinking hanging out with some of those cats? That's all you can say. Well, this is easy. Bond car for sure, says Shah. Right now, 39% for the Bond car, 29% for the DeLorean. That's actually a shocker to me. I'm shocked. I thought the Back to the Future DeLorean car I thought that was going to win for sure. But the James Bond cars look like they are going to take this one. So I'm going to end this poll because they are by far and away the lead there. So let me start the next poll, which will be the powerful Mach 5. That will be one of the options. That is not what I wanted to do. Start a poll. Thank you. Thank you, YouTubes, for working. I feel like Racer X's car was better though, but I'm just gonna keep that one out. I'm not gonna say anything. We're too deep in it now. There's enough options. Let's see. Christine Wraith. Can he spell it? Probably not, but he's put it in there. I don't even know if people know what that movie is, but it's a movie and it's a thing. Here we go. The powerful Mach 5 from Speed Racer Christine, the Wraith Machine, and Cheech and Chong. Any of their cars that you want to that you just put with them. They've had several. They had the lowrider. They had the van. They've had quite a few. Didn't their van have like a wizard painted on it or something? I don't remember exactly what happened in those movies. Another set of movies I've never seen all the way through. Let's see. Oh, Nash Bridges. I saw Nash Bridges in there. That's another good one. Big Trouble is Tim Allen's best movie. Sheldon Creed to JGR. Good move for JGR and Xfinity. It's a good move for Sheldon Creed. I'll tell you that much. Car 54. Where are you? That's another one. Skyline from Too Fast, Too Furious. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Too Fast, Too Furious. I think they had the best cars in the whole series of the movies. Not the best. A lot of people think it's the worst movie in the run. I would strongly disagree with that. But it is what it is. Ace Ventura 72 Monte Carlo. Duke Chronic, I was thinking about putting that one in there, but I didn't want to do that. But yeah, 72 Monte Carlo, that's one of my all-time favorites. Yeah, if you had been here earlier, my friend, I would have definitely put that one in there. Let's see, how many do we have on this last one here? 1, 2, 3. No, we got it. Ace Ventura is going. We had one slot open. Ace Ventura Monte. That's going in there. That's lucky because I had an odd number here for this last one. I was only going to have 3 options for the last one. So, yeah, that's. I'm glad somebody else remembers the old Ace Ventura Monte Carlo. That's a high-performance machine. It takes high test, but he will accept other monetary offers for that if you remember the very beginning of the movie. We're not going to get into that, though, because that's inappropriate. And nobody even mentioned the RoboCop cars from Demolition Man. Oh, man, some of the sci-fi cars have got to be in there. I mean, that's a whole nother that's a whole nother issue. Aston Martin is awesome. Yeah, the place I sometimes work for, they were doing some business for jazzing up a guy's Aston Martin. He wanted some graphics on it, so they did that. Really cool car to take a look at. The Mini Hog is way more fuel efficient, great for long trips in Aspen. You know what? I'm going to put that. I'm just going to make it a Jim Carrey category. I'm going to put the Ace Ventura Monte Carlo / Mini Hog from Dumb and Dumber. I'm making a judgment call on that. That's going in there. It's because I feel like the Mini Hog is actually more iconic from that movie than as iconic as the sheepdog van is. The Mini Hog I feel like is just as iconic from that movie. A totally iconic movie. Period. The first one at least. Car 54. Where are you? Says Mark Barnum. Skyline. I just read that one. Big Trouble is Tim's best movie. Beverly Hillbillies car. That one was actually we already did that one, Alan Rich. That one was not voted on. Nope, that's the one I wrote down and couldn't read. That's exactly what that was. Beverly Hillbillies car. That's the one I wrote down and couldn't read. So yeah, I meant to put that in an earlier one and I couldn't read my own handwriting. That's the one I couldn't read. Lamborghini Countach from Cannonball Run. All the cars from Cannonball Run. Actually, the ambulance. Look up the YouTube video for the ambulance from Cannonball Run. That thing had an absolute monster of a motor in it. I think Ed Mitchell, built the motor or something like that. Napa Racing Fan Creed is not for sure yet. He's going to JGR. It's pretty well done. The CUDA from Nash Bridges for sure. Gumball Rally cars were cool. Could go Cup, says Shaw. Well, he might have a shot at that 16 over there at college, so that's actually a fair statement. So yeah, you're right about that. I should hold off on that one, but it seems like he's going over there to Toyota for Joe Gibbs in the Xfinity Series. Can Herbie manifest Lindsay Lohan my way? LOL says Roofer. As long as you don't mind chewing on Valtrex, my friend, that's all you. Would make sense, says Shaw. It's what I figure, says Shaw. I'm not a fan, but would love to see Casey Kane run another Cup race. Same with Stewart, even Waltrip at a plate track. Yeah, I do wonder if Carl Edwards and Casey Kane are thinking about coming back and maybe running a one-off race now that the cars are a little bit cooler, because I know Casey Kane has the cramping issues and dehydration and stuff like that. But I am going to be interested to see if Carl Edwards, because he seems interested in coming back, or Casey Kane ever makes a comeback. JGR should ditch All-Star car and put Ryan Truex in there full time. I don't disagree with that. He's gotten good finishes for him when he's been in there. I thought it was cool that Byron gave Ross the most credit for the Hail Melon. said it was a big brain move and called it brilliant. Yeah, he was the only one that wasn't really hating on the move. Actually, Denny Hamlin was like, it was a brilliant move. He should have done so. Actually, surprisingly enough, the guy that criticized him all season long actually gave him credit for it. So shout out to those guys. Everybody else was in full on hate mode, including my man, Kyle Larson, who even said he was a hypocrite when he was talking about his stuff. Sheldon Creed has played it smart, keeping people interested in his career. Not sure when he will announce his new ride. That's a good point. That's a good point. Bigfoot, one original Ford. Bigfoot. Yeah, Bigfoot's been in several movies, so I'll just have to think of the movie. The Casey Kane Meltdown was a song dedication for a pet that moved on. The Casey Kasem Meltdown was a song dedication for a pet that moved on. I'll have to look that one up. Skull Bandit car, I saw a lot. Yeah, back in the day, Big Chewbacca was really good at promoting their vehicles too. The Chattanooga Chew car was out there a lot back in the day. What is it, Larry Pearson, David Pearson's brother? He was out there a lot promoting that one. Dawson Fair, what's up, my friend? I like Creed. Says Shot. Yeah, he's a really good driver. He's going to be solid, I think. Still a little bit green, but he'll get there. My first memory of seeing a NASCAR car is Dale Earnhardt's 98 car brought to a nearby mall in 2008. So mall cars, like the local late model cars for sure. Like those were definitely the first. But I was talking about cup cars. No Bandit Trans Am. What are we even doing? Bo Darville, where were you at earlier, my friend? I was pulling for the Bandit car. The Bandit car has already been defeated, and it was defeated by what was it defeated by? The General Lee. The General Lee beat the Bandit. So I needed your vote. I needed your vote earlier, my friend, because I was pulling for the Bandit. I already told him the two cars that I would have, the Magnum PI Ferrari and the Smokey and the Bandit Trans Am, have already lost. So my two picks are already gone. So it's up for grabs now. 1998 car. My bad. What did you do today, Bologna Burger? I made videos, my friend, and was on some Zoom meeting calls. That was pretty super exciting day. Does RCR get a charter for Austin Hill for 2025? I think they're trying to. I don't know if they get it done, but I think they're trying to figure something out. I would say that. Maybe rent one from somebody. Bo Darville Bandit was already polled. Never made the cut. Yeah, I'm still bummed about that. Always going to be sad about that one. Let's see. What's up, Dawson Fair? Says Roofer. I think Austin Dillon will step away from racing and put Austin Hill in that 3 car. Says Chrome Diesel. As long as the Earnhardt family signs off on it, because they do have Richard Childress has a thing worked out with them. They have to give the thumbs up to whoever sits in the 3. Emily Campano from Fox has a bad but 71 Mach 1. I live my life a quarter mile at a time, and that's what, 10 seconds or less. Nothing else matters. Have you ever seen Imp Lemon's video about Earnhardt Sr.? Says Keith Risk. I have seen that one. Let's see. Traditions off the charts tonight. Says Roofer. Oh, we're still going to get the final one. The final one is going to get ignored. Don't worry about that. Shah, sorry I was late. What a travesty. Yeah, I'm so sad, man. I was really hoping you would show up and save the day and like rally for the Bandit car. I can't do it because it's disingenuous for me to try to push the vote one way or the other. So I just let it play out. But I was hoping you were going to show up and push it toward the Smokey and the Bandit route, but it didn't happen. Thing about DeLorean is but we got the General Lee. I mean, the General Lee's an iconic car. So I can see if you got to lose to somebody, that's an iconic car to lose to. Think about all these cars are iconic. Think about a DeLorean as a daily driver. They always break down. What are you talking about, man? The Iron Duke, probably the most reliable engine of all time, Shah. What? I'm being sarcastic, by the way. What do you think, Chrome? Says Keith Risk. Wraith Dodge Turbo Interceptor. Nobody said anything about the Mad Max cars, by the way. I'd like to throw that out there. Did you expect that many cars to be listed for the polls? Says like this, like, yeah. So you've missed at least like what 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. We've missed you missed 20 cars up until this point. Imp Lemon's awesome. He does a great job with all his videos, no doubt about it. I actually like Tokyo Drift. I've liked all the Fast and the Furious movies until they started becoming superheroes and jumping off. Whatever the movie it was, where they lost me was the movie where they drove it through the through the Arab Emirates Hotel and jumped into another one. I was like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm still going to watch them because I'm invested at this point, but I'm done. They're no longer good. Let's see here. Keith Risk agreed. 61 Ford Fairlane cop car in Andy Griffith. There you go, Andy Griffith. That might, you just might get a nostalgia vote for Andy Griffith. I prefer Monte Carlos from Too Fast to Too Furious, says Escobar. Cheech and Chong's car was like an Impala. It was like a love machine. Did I miss the Bullets thing? Yeah, Bullet is in here. Eleanor has transferred to the next round. So Bo Darville, Eleanor has made it to one of the final rounds. Oh dear, it's looking like Low and Slow will win. Yeah, Cheech and Chong up 30. This is a close one though. 36% Cheech and Chong. Wraith with 11%. Christine at 25%. And the powerful Mach 5 from Speed Racer at 29%. As it stands now, 10 minutes in, 28 votes. I'm going to close that one out here in just a minute because I do have to get to these other ones so we can get to the final round here. Before the voice gives out, oh dear, it's looking. Oh, I just read that one. Nearly half of Earnhardt's titles were in Luminas. That's so sad. Oh, Chrome Diesel. Oh man, there's ever a car I disliked, it was the Chevrolet Lumina. It just was not. It's nothing wrong with the car technically. There's nothing wrong with it, but going from that aero back Monte Carlo SS, then you have the Lumina. Like on the racetrack, it looked cool. Don't get me wrong, but going from the street car of the Super Sport with the aero glass to the Lumina, and it took forever for the Eurosport Lumina to come out over here. So even the jazzed up body kit version of the Lumina, it took forever to get here, especially when Pontiac had the Grand Prix, and the Grand Prix looked way better than the Lumina at that time. Like that Lumina versus the Monte Carlo was a culture shock. Plus, it was front wheel drive. Oh, I mean, I'm to this day, I'm still mad about it, crying about it. Tokyo Drift was my favorite next to the original. Yeah, man, I think a lot of people feel like that. Tokyo Drift, without question, had the best soundtrack for a movie in a long time, and that actually helped that movie out quite a bit. Not only that, but the stunt coordination and the storyline was actually pretty good for that one. And the fact that they could take basically no actual characters from the normal Fast and Furious until the very end with the Dom lead in and continue the franchise that way, that was pretty cool as well. I meant the Monte Carlos from Tokyo Drift, says Escobar. Yeah, I got you. I know what you meant. I like the earlier Monte Carlo, says Keith Risk. My favorite fictional will always be the Fast and Furious Supra. Yeah, that's one caveat I put in there. American Graffiti and Fast and Furious, I'm not putting those cars in here because we'd be here all day. We'll have to have like a separate thing where they go head to head against each other. How about trucks from Maximum Overdrive? That's another good one. If there were classic wrestling fans here, check out Dark Side of the Ring. Only 2 Earnhardt titles were on Monte Carlo, says Chrome Diesel. That's probably accurate. I haven't looked into it. Let's see. All right, 35% Cheech and Chong. Cheech and Chong transfer. This is better than March Madness. This is just madness. Cheech and Chong have transferred. So let's start the next round. Pick one. Let's see. Christine. Who wouldn't want to own Christine? Ferris Bueller. Yes, I spelled that wrong because I can't spell. Geo Metro from Big Trouble. All right, there we go. The poll has been started. So Christine from Stephen King, Ferris Bueller's Ferrari, Ace Ventura Monte Carlo, which I spelled wrong, or the Mini Hog from Dumb and Dumber. That is one category, and also the Geo Metro from Big Trouble. I'm pulling for the Mini Hog, so I'm going to influence this poll because we're getting to the bottom of the barrel here. So there you go. This will be held under protest by somebody because I influenced the poll. Let's see. Mach 5 is a good one. Says Shaw, LOL Keith. Speed Racer, Speed Racer. Says Keith Risk. Let's see here. Am I only allowed one vote? Says Shaw. Yeah, this isn't the American presidential race. You're only allowed one vote here. I am totally bummed with the Wraith car losing out. Says Shaw. Yeah, a lot of people are. That's an unknown movie. I think is probably what played into that. There should be a postseason NASCAR sanctioned race with only former champions participating, says Jamie Schweitzer. That would be pretty cool. Dale Earnhardt Sr. was 15 when I was born, says Keith Risk. Keith Risk, there you go, man. You got some age on us, my friend. Cannonball Run, Lambo. Yeah, that one's been mentioned quite often. So maybe we'll do one more run here because I do need probably one more. Yeah, we're gonna have to do one more. All right, so we're gonna have to do one more. Carl Edwards to the 10. I'm a Bo, and this is my brother Luke, and this is my other brother Luke. Hi, my name is Daryl. This is my brother Daryl, and this is my other brother Daryl. Was the General Lee in a poll? Yeah, the General Lee won, say Kyle. So we did get the General Lee in there. Let's see here. Dale Earnhardt won his 7th title on the year I was born. That season was a big what if, especially with Ernie Irvan, says Chrome Diesel. For sure. I think somebody just made a movie, or just made a YouTube movie about that, a documentary. Dale Sr. was 15 when I was born. There should be a poster. I just read all these. NASCAR, NBC has released new video where Larson said he was too hard on Dissonant, said it was cool, and put Ross on the map. So there you go. I'm glad Larson took back what he said. Appreciate you there, Dirty Def. Bigfoot 3 was in Police Academy. There you go. So I'm going to put Bigfoot in there. Bigfoot was in Police Academy. Hopefully I remember these. We're going to have one lightning round for these last ones because I'm going to have a 3 versus 3 for the champion here. They need to have retired drivers only race 150 laps at Bristol and Darlington. I think they tried that and somebody was 70 years old and got hurt. I can't remember. Back in the day, I was working at Builders Show, and DuPont brought in a legit 24 car into the convention center. They fired it up inside the showroom. You would have thought a bomb went off. Everyone stopped working. Yeah, these, especially in a garage type area where it's not got like great acoustics to dampen it. Those things they're loud anyway. But God knows, I can only imagine. It'd be like popping off around in a gymnasium. It would just like echo. It'd be so loud. Or popping off around maybe in a car, like it would be deafening. Or if you've ever had the airbags go off in a car, that's like a 22 being fired in the car. It's like, ding, ding, ding. You guys will be ringing for a while. I'm totally bummed. The Wraith is losing out. I am only allowed to vote once. Says Shaw. All these p-heads out here outvoting the Mach 5 nominee. Yeah, we've got some we've got some winners just for the lulz. There's no doubt about that. Wraith, vote now. Little prediction: Chase and Bowman take out Byron and Larson this weekend. Give Rick the finger, take a bow, and join Team Aristocrats with their bologna burger paint scheme. Silly season marches on. So there you go. It would be cool if we got I do need to look into that. It would be cool if we got a bologna burger paint scheme on something though. I need to look into the diecast is what I was thinking about there. Speed break, go Speed Racer, go. Says Keith Risk. Mach 5 is a good one. I watched Wraith when I was little. I didn't know the name of it back then. I only now found out it was Wraith, and recently I watched it. So yeah, that's that reminds me of Mad Max. Police Interceptor from Mad Max, the Cannonball Lambo, and the Bigfoot from Police Academy. Those are the ones that are in here right now. Suggested Road Warrior earlier, missed it. Sorry about that, Sonny V. I've been like, whenever I close out a poll, it jumps around. So I have been trying to get back down there. and get them 2 cars. I still wish I had the 70 Mach 1 and the 63 Ford Fairlane. I voted for Wraith, says Bo Darville. My childhood dream car was a 66 Batmobile. That was in there. That was actually in the first poll. And it did not do well, but it did better than the Ecto One, which I was surprised. No love shown for the Cadillac Hearse from Ghostbusters. Should have ended it after Paul Walker passed. The story was told, says Dirty Def. Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you, but Hollywood loves money. Also voted for the W movie. I'm going to stop saying that because I feel like YouTube is going to think I'm saying another word because of my accent. So I'm just going to chill out on that one. Did you see Sammy Smith win the poll for a NASCAR Xfinity race at Martinsville tomorrow? I did see that he won. Timmy Hill was the did not. Oh, man, that sucks for Carl Long for MBM Motorsports in the number 66. That's it. I can't spell. Says Keith Risk. I'm with you there, my friend. Did anyone mention the Munsters drag car? The Munsters drag car has also lost already. It'll smoke everything, says E. Damon. This is a little bit off subject, but if you're a fan of that film, the filming location videos on YouTube are pretty cool. So, yeah, if you want to check that one out, you definitely can. Tokyo Drift with King of the Hill was awesome. Says, oh, man, I scrolled down too far. Who said that? Says Shot. Stoners, JK, I partake at times. Chong 420 baby, Maximum Overdrive truck, good call, says Dirty Def. So there you go. I'm going to put that one in there because that's been mentioned a lot. Maximum Overdrive. All right, that's going to be the next round. 43% for Mr. Bueller here. 23 votes, 7 minutes in. I'll leave it up here for a couple more minutes. Then we're going to close this one out. Go to the last one. Only 4% for the Geo Metro from Big Trouble. Imagine that car is your daily, though. You get 40 miles per gallon back then. Apparently, we can't. We're just now getting back to 40 miles a gallon. Geo had it figured out back then before, big government put them down. But I'll tell you what would be even better than that. The Mini Hog from Dumb and Dumber at 22%. The best gas mileage out of the lot here. And it comes, if you buy the Mini Hog, we're going to throw in a 72 Monte Carlo from Ace Ventura for free. Only at 22%, though. Nothing touching the Ferrari from Ferris Bueller at 43%. Christine from Stevie King at 30%. A few more minutes, and then we're going to close that one out. Let's see. Metro says Keith Risk. He's pumping it up for the Metro. The Rubber Duck Mac from Convoy did some damage. Keith Risk saying yes. Let's see here. I vote for Fillmore, the VW band from Cars. Cars is up there with Fast and the Furious and American Graffiti. That's going to be their own separate category. Redo from Pineapple Express. Red's Daewoo from Pineapple Express. That's a good one, Dirty Diff. Oh, man, I'm going to have to combo that one with something here. Who remembers Daewoo? They had one car one time in the States. Let's see here. Monsters Drag Car, the end. It's already lost. Jurassic Park Jeep. I thought about putting that one in there. I do like the Jurassic Park Jeep. 1994 had the tire war. We forgot, dude, where's your car? Wasn't Bigfoot in Roadhouse? I can't remember. I know there was a monster truck in there, but I can't remember if it was Bigfoot or not. I think it was just an all-white monster truck. Pork Chop Express, Big Trouble in Little China. Oh, there you go. I forgot about that one. Good movie. Let's see here. The Pacer from Wayne. Oh, yeah, the Stretch Pacer, the Limo Pacer. That's a good one, too. I've already got these locked in, though. So let's see here. Jeff Bodine was praising Hoosiers every time he won in 94. Yeah, he was like the only dude that could save tire and make them win. I'm going to take off before the final poll. Great show, as always. General Lee will be the last car standing, says Jamie. Okay, JP Jeep wins for me. Let me go ahead and close this poll out, too. And let's start a new poll. All right, Maximum Overdrive, Mad Max. Mad Max Interceptor. What can I spell? All right, let's see. Where's the other one here? Cannonball Run Lambo. All right, there we go. That poll is up now. Vote for your favorite: Maximum Overdrive, the Mad Max Interceptor, Bigfoot from Police Academy, and the Cannonball Run Lambo. This is going to be the last one before we get into the championship rounds. So get your votes in pretty quick. Didn't have room for Red's Daewoo, but I did like the thought process on that one. Let's see. I'm going to take. I just read that one. Let's see here. Jeff won like 9 races. That 24 car can take the loudest. The 24 car take the loudest car you've ever heard and multiply it by 100 inside that convention center. It was absolutely insane, louder than a top fuel car doing a pass. It was insanity. How about the Mustang from Bullet? The Mustang from Bullet has already advanced to the next round, Escobar, so that one has passed on to the next round, so you will see that one again. But yes, that one was voted on earlier. The Jalopy from My Mother, the car, I haven't seen that one, Keith Risk, so I have to check that one out. Let's see here. Timmy Hill had a lap time fast enough to qualify 36, but because 3 teams taking advantage of the provisional cost Hill to DNQ. Oh, that's a bad way to go out. That is a bad way to go out. Top 3 to win at Martinsville, Truex, Larson, or Bell. Those are statistically the top 3, but actually you got to take Bell out and put in Hamlin. So it's going to be Truex, Larson, and Hamlin. But let's see here. By the numbers, it was by the power rankings is going to be Chase Elliott, but average finish is actually going to be Joey Logano at 4.7, then Ryan Blaney, then Chase Elliott, then Kyle Larson. So that would be your top 4 according to statistical analysis from driveraverages.com. But they've got Chase Elliott listed in their power rankings as the better driver there. If you factor everything in. Days of Thunder cars, I got 4, says Duke Chronic. Yeah, like I said earlier, we're going to save that one for another day. We're actually just going to vote on who had the best scheme in that movie. Wouldn't make a very good daily driver car, but then again, we've got the Dukes of Hazzard General Lee in here too, so what rules matter here? But that one couldn't turn right very well. About once every 3 months, someone suggests a retired driver race to Moody, and he always tells them, we almost hurt someone doing that and probably won't happen again. Yep. He does like to bring that up. Truck finale at Phoenix next Friday night at 10 Eastern time, start time, says Napa Racing fan sarcastically. Let's see here. It was a blue Ford in Roadhouse, says one wise guy. So it might not have been the it probably was blue. Let's see here. I was thinking it was white for some reason, but I don't think it had Bigfoot on it, but it was clearly an homage to Bigfoot. I don't know if it was the actual Bigfoot. The DuPont 24 flame job was in Looney Tunes movie, so technically eligible, says Bo Darville. Forgot the 2014 SEMA guest of Steve Saleen. When it wrapped up, meet Dale Jr. in the back and let me sit in his 88. Totally random, no one around. I never made it to Salem's booth. Booze, Eek, says E. Damon. That's pretty cool, my friend. The car from League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, that was a slick ride. I don't remember that one. I'll have to go check that one out. Daewoo Lanos. So the Lanos was the actual name of the car. The Green Hornet's car was like a Bond car, says Duke Chronic. Yeah. Green Hornet, that movie didn't do so good. I know it was a TV show back in the day. But the movie didn't do that good. So I don't think a lot of people remember that one, but definitely a cool car. I think it was a Hudson. I gotta go Lambo, says Shaw. So yeah, it looks like Maximum Overdrive is winning right now, though, according to the early voting. 29% for the Mad Max Interceptor and the Cannonball Run. It's a tie. Cannonball Run Lambo and Maximum Overdrive are tied at 33. So get your votes in. You could be the tie-breaking vote. 5% for Bigfoot. Let's see. Herbie the Love Bug. Yeah, we voted on Herbie earlier. Herbie lost out to Eleanor, I think. E. Damon. Look, Bigfoot 7 was in Roadhouse. It was also in Tango and Cash. That's what I get Tango and Cash mixed up with Big Trouble in Little Tokyo, but without the body on it, says Escobar. Should they only race at Phoenix once? If so, should you place it in the fall or in the spring? I guess place it in the fall because it would probably be a little bit warmer on the left coast than the east coast. Of it to have a reasonable opinion. I like Carson Hocevar, so I'll probably go with him. But Corey Heim, if he's even in it, I need to look up the truck stuff. I don't keep up. I just do Cup stuff for the most part because typically I'm working on late models and stuff like that. So it is what it is. Who are you picking for the Truck Series Championships, Red One? Carson Hocevar won at Richmond, similar to Phoenix. Most wins out of any four. Texas, Nashville, Richmond, and Homestead, says Napa. Shah's going Lambo. So, yeah, Hocevar apparently has the numbers there. I think Carson will be champ. Kid special. I think he's definitely he's got that raw talent. Like he's got that raw, just that it factor. So I think he's definitely got to be in the conversation. Can confirm Bigfoot was in Roadhouse along with severely underrated blues player Jeff Healy. Rhodes stole a championship 4 spot from Sanchez, says Napa Racing fans. So yeah, Sanchez, him and Matt Crafton sort of overshadowed anything he had going on in the playoffs, I think. Are you going to Martinsville? I will be there Sunday, Dawson Fair, for sure. Bigfoot team actually built Bigfoot 7 for that movie, then converted it into a race truck. Says Escobar. Okay, so that's cool. I didn't know that. I'll have to look up the history of that. I was always a big Gravedigger fan. I never really got into Bigfoot because Gravedigger's from North Carolina. Or at least stationed in North Carolina. I think he started out in Virginia and moved to North Carolina. I think it might have started off in like Suffolk or something and then moved to Currituck, North Carolina, and then moved it on down to Kill Devil Hills. The Charger from Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry. Haven't seen that one. Inspector Gadget car. Oh, the Inspector Gadget car. That'd be a good daily for sure. That's got the James Bond car beats. Let me close this poll out so we can get to the final rounds. Mad Max Interceptor took the lead with 35%. Pulls the upset over Maximum Overdrive and the Cannonball Lambo, which are tied for 30. Probably our closest poll so far, unless something flipped at the very end. Oh, Mad Max was in the lead when I closed it out. Somebody got a vote in last second while I was talking about it. Oh boy! So we got a tie here. So great, good job, me. Let's see. So let me just put a. All right, so I'll just break it down like this. Here we go. We're getting into the finals. This is, let's see. This is one half of the bracket. The other half of the bracket will be up in just a minute. We got the Ferris Bueller Ferrari. Very sure I spelled that wrong. Definitely. Let's see. Mad Max Interceptor. We got the Cheech Mobile. And we got Eleanor. There you go. From Gone in 60 Seconds. There are your finalists, Ferris Bueller's, and don't worry about the Cannonball Lambo. That is going to be in the next round. So because they tied at the last seconds, I will put them in there. Right now, Ferris Bueller and Eleanor going at it. One vote for Mad Max as well. So let this one play out, and we will see who's going on to the finals. The Dirty Sanchez says Shah. Forever, what I think of when I see him. Yeah, Nick Sanchez for sure. I'm sure he's heard that joke a million times. Coming up through school, I do chronic. Yeah, we had a doe on the final of that one. Did you watch Michael? Did you watch Moob's live stream last night? I did not get a chance to catch it. Sorry about that, Dawson Fair. I did catch his birthday stream though. Murph Mobile says Dirty Death. Thor Sport has performed poorly this year compared to their standards. It's been a little bit of an off year for him for sure. Repoll the 2 cars. Give me 5 minutes. Says Shot. No, I'm just going to put them in the finals. The way it worked out, there was going to be 3 versus 3. Now it's just going to be 4 versus 4. Let's see. There was a Bigfoot truck at a restaurant called Race Rock Cafe in the tourist district in Orlando in the 90s. All kinds of motorsports, NASCAR show cars there. It's a Dave and Buster's now. Oh, man. That's probably the only time in life something's been turned into a Dave and Buster's. And people are like, oh, that's such a bummer. But, yeah, for sure. Dave and Buster's is fun. But I do like I miss the old NASCAR cafes, to be totally honest with you. They had the best chicken tenders. With a hot sauce on them. The Clampett truck that we actually voted on that one. It didn't Perry Earl. The Beverly Hillbillies car it did make. I think Eleanor or Eleanor or Cheech I think beat that one. Misvote Repo says Shy. They're both in there. So whichever one you voted for is in there. Shy, in America we mess up votes and we don't get redos. LOL. That's a fact. And when it comes to voting in the U.S., vote early, vote often. Let's see. Nobody likes the love machine. That's a joke, by the way. Don't X out my channel, overlords. Let's see. We're going out tonight. Says one wise guy. I can't believe I just brought myself to vote for Ford. Says say Kyle. I didn't get to watch the Truck Series at Homestead last week, but Matt Crafton beat Nick Sanchez. Yeah, he outfinished him for sure. Lots of great movies and TV cars. Fun conversation, says Jim. Yeah, it's been one of the better live streams for sure. They're all really good, but this one's taking on a life of its own. Right now, 47% for Eleanor. I feel like that's probably going to be your overall winner. But we'll see. We'll see after this next round. I'm going to leave that one up there for a few more minutes, so get your vote in on the poll. And then we will see after this next round who's going to be the finale. Let's see. Nobody liked the Love Machine. Herbie the Love Bug got voted out. I think I don't know who he lost to, but he lost to somebody. Let's see. I didn't get to watch the Truck Series at Homestead. I just read that one. The Race Rock Bigfoot is Bigfoot 7 with extra large tires on it. I do remember that one. They had it as a McDonald's Happy Meal one time. You got regular Bigfoot. They had the really big Bigfoot. Then they had like a red car. It wasn't Carolina Crush, but it was somebody else. It wasn't El Toro Loco. There was like 3 or 4 you could get from McDonald's. We forgot the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. We certainly did. Oscar Mayer is being super lame, and they're trying to change it to the Frankfurter Mobile, as if anybody's going to call that thing anything other than the Wienermobile. So yeah, Oscar Mayer getting sensitive in their old age. They don't want you to call it the Wienermobile anymore, but everybody's just always going to call it the Wienermobile. So good luck to you, Oscar Mayer. We will call it what we like, and you will accept it. The Race Rock Bigfoot is now at a fun spot in Orlando. Okay, so there you go. There you go. You can at least still see it. Keith was just thinking that truck says E. Damon, vote early, vote often. Says Shy. Yeah, that's the American way. Overtime, says one wise guy. BB, I sent you a link about the Race Rock place. Take a look. I definitely will. Appreciate you, my friend. After the stream, it was super cool. Keith Risk, can I smell your glasses? No, you cannot smell my glasses, Dawson Fair. I didn't know that Escobar hasn't been to a fun spot in forever. Need to go and race some karts. LOL, says Kyle. I raced go-karts last weekend. And I'm definitely rusty. I either finished, there were 4 karts out there. We were sort of doing a test and tune, but of course during a test and tune, you do sort of an impromptu race. I finished either 3rd or 4th in all the races. And I could keep up with them, but like, it's just little things that I knew I should have been doing that normally come naturally when you've got a lot of seat time. I was having to think about them. And if you got to think about anything when you're racing, you're just going to suck. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. I am the advocate for Ryan Blaney. And this weekend at Elimination Chamber, my client will lock himself in to WrestleMania at Phoenix. I like how you did that. I like it. I think you're right too. I think he is going to be the last one in. I just got a feeling. Not NASCAR related, but a stolen base occurred during the World Series. So that means free tacos. Taco Bell comes through for you once again. There is a stolen base in the World Series. So go get your free tacos at Taco Bell tomorrow if you're into Taco Bell. I know some people don't like it, but it is good. It is good cheap food. Where it's cheap food. Who wins the Xfinity race tomorrow? Does Sammy Smith win from the pole and go for the championship? Where he won his first race this spring, or in Phoenix, or someone else? I believe Allgaier wins. Just the way the Joe Gibbs cars have typically run at Martinsville, I would say it's either going to be a junior car or a Joe Gibbs car, but I like Sammy Smith's odds there for sure. Oscar Mayer changes it to the to the Shaft Mobile. Just go with the flow, says Shaw, or the Richard Mobile, says Shaw. Can you please take off your hat for a minute? Oh, you missed it earlier, Dawson. I took my hat off for a minute earlier. I was at a fun spot a few years ago that when I saw Bigfoot 7 just riding away. It's the Bigfoot that was used in more movies than any other monster truck. Very sad. There you go, Dawson. There you go. Let's see here. Fun spot is cool. Has like 4-story spiral track and all kinds of wild stuff. Not a bunch of normal tracks. Okay. So I'll have to look that one up. Hey, baby, did you see the GMS paint schemes for Phoenix? I haven't actually seen those yet. I saw. I did see one for Phoenix, but I can't recall who it is. I think it was Haley Deegan's truck. Let's see. Be interesting to see if anyone picks up Infinger. Yeah, for sure. He's a good talent. He's sitting out there. Let me go ahead and close this poll. 45% for Eleanor. I'm fairly confident that that's not going to change, so I'm going to end this poll right now. Looks like Eleanor wins that one. So let me get the other one here. Misspelled Mystery Machine, but I'm going to leave it because you know what I'm talking about. We got the Mystery Machine. We got the Jinri Lee. We got the A-Team van. And we got the Cannonball Lambo. That'll actually be a little bit more interesting than I thought. So you got the Mystery Machine, you got the General Lee, you got the A-Team van, and you've got the Cannonball Run Lambo. Get your votes in now, and then we will go to the championship. Who is going to see Eleanor in the championship round? Who is going to be our favorite daily driver on the Baloney Burger Media YouTube channel? Let's see here. GMS throwing it back to their 2 championship-winning truck schemes is cool. RIP GMS and KBM. Yeah, we lost two of the better Chevrolet teams this year for sure. I know KBM is associated mainly with Toyota, but he was a Chevrolet team this year. Infinger back to Thor Sport again. Oh, that's a fair question to ask. I have no idea. Rubbin is Racing, sponsoring Jack Wood with KBM. Hey, there you go. I need to check that one out. For a daily driver, I'd have to pick Christine. I live in Ohio, and that thing would fix its own rust before it hurts me, says Bo. So, yeah, if it likes you, I guess. Obligatory mention, BB. What are your expectations for Deegan in the Xfinity Series next year? She'll probably finish I'll say anywhere from 8th to 16th most races. That's kind of what I'm expecting out of her. I got Bigfoot in the basement, keeps banging on the door, but won't let him in. But won't let him out. Oh, you mean the truck? That's that's in case. Never mind. Whoops. Says E. Damon. Infinger gets in at Thor. Oh dear, that's a tough poll. This is all these last 2 are probably the toughest ones. Let's see. 71% for the Dukes of Hazzard right now though. Let's see. Infinger gets in to Thor. You know, it would have been Theodore Roosevelt's 165th birthday today, says Dawson Fair. I did not know that, but he was one of the most interesting presidents. That's the question. Infinger will rub you good, says 25. I don't know. I have no idea about contract. Engineer Infinger deserves a good ride, says Perry Earl. Wish I was in the land of cotton, old times there, not forgotten. I forgot what the song is, but I know what you're talking about. Third time Barstool Sports is sponsoring a car with Matty D and Clint Boyer, and now Jack Wood. Hopefully that becomes a diecast. Says in between the lanes. Yeah, it just I guess it just depends on how funny Barstool is about their sponsorship stuff. You know, Monster is, so you never know, and I know the Jordan brand is too. You just never know. A Bigfoot got rid of Teddy Roosevelt's hunting buddy, says Duke Chronic. Would like to see Infinger win it all at the end of the team, says Dirty Def. Yeah, so Infinger, I think he would be a pretty popular one. Right now, it's not even close. It's not even close. 3 minutes in, 20 votes, 70% General Lee. And Mystery Machine is at 10%, 5% for the A-Team van, and the Cannonball Lambo at 15%. I might just call this one early so that we can have a little bit of a longer votes on the finale, because I just feel like the General Lee is going to win this one. So you know what? It's only 3 minutes in. I'm going to leave it up for 2 more minutes, and then we'll get on. The General says, "Do Chronic. I have a question. I don't get into politics, Dawson Fair. That name just makes me laugh," says Shah. So yeah, that's definitely a good one. Let's see here. We did establish that Richard Petty and Roger Penske are the same age, but Roger Penske has Richard Petty by about 3 months. So Roger Penske is slightly older. For those tuning in late, Roger Penske is slightly older than Richard Petty by a few months. Let's see. Yep, all right, got that sorted out. All right, here we go. LOL, Dawson asking the man to play Russian roulette with his subs, says Say Kyle. Yeah, like I said, I just don't get into politics. I could really care less about them, to be totally honest with you. Richard Penske says Keith Risk. Trucks Championship for, I don't think, I'll be totally honest with you, I don't think anybody has liked any of the candidates we've had recently. They've, everybody's big tagline, the lesser of two evils. So that tells you all you need to know about all the candidates. The truck championship for has 3 beat out all year with the 42, the 11, and the 23. Then the 99, the 19, and 2 had better seasons, says Napa Racing Fan. So who does Denny wreck this weekend? I say Byron, says E. Damon Racing. Roger and Richard have both outlived Jesus. Very impressive. They've got autographed copies of the Moses edition of the Bible. That is for sure. All right, General Lee has won. So I'm gonna put up the last poll. I knew this was how it was gonna go. Like you can throw any cars you want to out there. I feel like I actually thought it was gonna be Smokey and the Bandit versus Eleanor, the Trans Am, but this was probably my second thought if it didn't go that way. So here we go. Let's see. And I do have to put one wild card in here. I just got to put one wild card in here because I feel like it. So we're going to go. Here you go, because I felt bad that I didn't include it earlier. So I've got to throw that one in there. It's got the jump seats. So the General Lee, Eleanor, or My Name is Earl, Subaru Brat USA car with the jump seats. Don't forget, it's painted like an American flag, and it has jump seats. So we're going to let that one play out, and then I will ignore it at the end, and I will close it out after I sign off, as I always do, because traditions. All right. Hamlin will win it all this year, says Keith Risk. So yeah, Hamlin said this is his year. So let's see, how many hot dogs are you going to have? I'll probably have 3. I'll cut it off at 3 because you don't want a situation on the drive home. Truck Series seems like a toss up to me, says Shaw. Yeah, I think it's always going to be a toss up as long as you have a one race scenario. Hocevar is strong, but so are many others. Yeah, that's the problem with the championship when it comes down to one race. It's the 4 best drivers all season. So flip a coin. Last year was actually pretty easy to pick Joey Logano because his numbers at Phoenix were just so far and above everybody else left in the playoffs. So that one was actually pretty easy. I felt pretty confident last year in picking a champion. This year, it's going to be a lot closer because everybody left has a lot closer numbers at Phoenix. But if Ryan Blaney wins it, he's actually got pretty good numbers going into Phoenix, if I remember correctly. Let's see. Denny won't wreck Byron. Mutual respect between the two, even after the whole caution dump debacle. USA versus Austria, says Keith Risk. Never Keith. He's got the curse of the big Bambino. Hamroid will defeat Hamroid. Denny Hamlin drives a Toyota Sequoia. Hey, look, he's a smart guy. I'm actually not going to hate on him for driving a van. I'm actually after I get this after I get this Fiat purchased, which I'm pretty close on, I feel like, but I've said that before and been wrong. But when I get that purchased, I think the next is going to be some type of van, possibly a minivan, because they're better on gas for longer road trips in the future of the channel. Deegan just posted she's engaged now, says one wise guy. So there you go. Haley Deegan is engaged. A lot of young men's hearts have been broken today. I'm disappointed that Joseph ain't got his YouTube channel, says Dawson Fair. Well, there's a reason he doesn't have his YouTube channel. He should probably only date people his age, and we'll leave it at that. Brat says Keith Risk, 1969 for both cars. Well, there you go. I mean, 69 is a good year. Nice. It's a nice year, actually. 1969 is a great year, says JMH. Eleanor is the right call if you have to daily drive. You don't want to drive the General into PC City, says say Kyle. That's a good point. Who was the golfer? The golfer, he bought like one of the originals, and he took the flag off the roof, and people had a meltdown. I can't remember who. Bubba, was it Bubba? I don't watch that much golf. Bubba somebody. Let's see. Have a good one, baby. Take it easy, Perry Earl. Thanks for hanging out. Dawson Fair with the piece and the stop. Let's see. If you had to say over 16 and over the 16 and the 10, who are you putting in? And who do you stay with? What do you have? Or do you stay with what you have? Oh, I feel like, well, that's not even, I feel like Noah Gregson's going in the 10. I think from so that decision's already been made, but the 16, I'd really try to keep AJ Allmendinger in there, unless you've got somebody that you really, really believe in. Like if you put Austin Hill in there, the only driver I think that would be in that rotation that they could put in there, and Austin Hill's already said he's not driving, but if you could do like a part-time rotation of Austin Hill and maybe some other drivers in there, if you can't do that though, if you're not going to build your future with Austin Hill, then I say just stay with AJ Allmendinger. That's a good question though. So Cabre bought a ring with Haley's money, says Mark Barnum. It's their money. It's their money, Mark. I'll be in Austria a week from today. We'll have to miss the post race live stream though. Oh, that's a bummer. But you know what? We'll be streaming for the rest of the off season too. So we'll see you around Toyota van like Rutledge Wood. I do like Rutledge Wood's super micro van. That Toyota, that looks good. I like the paint job on it too. Minivan, don't get pulled over by the cops, says Duke Chronic. Haley Butterface Deegan says Keith Risk. Bubba Watson. There you go. So one wise guy. Appreciate you. Speed pole time, says E. Damon. Stuart Haas needs a bad boy like Noah. Deegan is like a less hot Hannah Barron, says Bo Darvel. Put Deegan wig on Zane Smith, and they could be twins, says Shah. They both have really straight teeth. That's I will say that. 56% right now for the general lead, beating out Eleanor. That is actually shocking. Typically, Eleanor is the winner in most of these. So we're going general lead on this one. My name is Earl Subaru Brat. USA car at 11, a respectable 11% given the circumstances. So I do have to give mad respect to the fact that that's gotten 11% in this poll. But right now, it looks like the general lead is leading. I'll leave that up for a few more minutes, and then I'm going to hop off there. So if you got anything else you want to talk about or ask me, throw it down there in the comments section, and we will answer it until we sign off here. Bubba and Martin Truex drive Toyota Tundras. Okay, so they're truck guys. Denny Hamlin's got he's got the minivan, the Mommy Mobile, and I wonder if any of them actually drive the sports car. Anybody drive the Supra over there? I know Kyle Busch had the Lexus, the really expensive Lexus sports car when he was with them. I wonder if anybody else over there on the Toyota camp has a sports car. I'm sure somebody drives a Camry. Like you like. Hard to beat a Camry. So, I mean, the thing will never really break down. I mean, pretty much all of their cars will never break down. Let's see. Minivans without windows and free candy spray painted on the side get pulled over. LOL, says say Kyle. That is factual. And, of course, at some point, I'm going to have to park the thing down by a river and do the whole thing, right? The Matt Foley speech, motivational speech. Tyler Reddick drives a Supra. My man, Tyler Reddick driving a Supra. I like it. I like it. Sequoia is the Tundra-based SUV. Says in between the lanes. Sienna. I think Sienna is the is what what's his nuts drives. Denny Hamlin. I think he drives the Sienna. I've seen him in a minivan. I'm sure he's got the Sequoia too, though. E. Damon, peace out. Have a good one, my friend. I guess Deegan could get a Zane haircut, same chin, same teeth, and facial structure, says Shah. Reddick drives the Supra. Sienna is the minivan. So gotcha. I think Bowman drives a Vet. Byron runs a Tahoe, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I remember that one. I remember that was super interesting because Bowman actually was driving a Camaro, and then Rick Hendrick was like, if you've never owned a Corvette, you need to own one. So when Bowman won his first race with the bonus money, he bought a Corvette. But before that, he was driving a Camaro because everybody else went Tahoe. Kyle Larson went Tahoe. William Byron went Tahoe. Bubba Wallace was actually with him back then. He went Tahoe. So everybody went Tahoe except Alex Bowman, who actually went Camaro. So thought that was interesting as well. All right. Stay cool, says Shah. Back when the DC Pew Pew was on the loose, if you drove a white van in Maryland, you were getting pulled over for sure. That was an insane situation. Just got to keep LIVIN, says say Kyle to Shah. Let's see. Do you like Tyler Ankrum or Tyler Reddick better, BB? I mean, I have really no preference as far as that goes. They're both pretty good. I feel like Tyler Reddick is at this point in his career is obviously a better driver, but I feel like both of them are pretty good. In Canada, you're almost always cooler than everywhere else. Yeah, especially the further north Canada you get up to. I would say that's probably a fairly safe statement to make there, Shah. Once you get into the getting a little closer to the Arctic in some of those regions, so for sure, definitely. Or the North Pole, I should say, in some of those situations for sure. All right. Looks like we've gotten to the end of the chat, so I am going to sign off and catch you on the next one.